How you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the showcase of the new Snapshot. So let's have a look at what this bad boy has to offer. First, the Redstone Comparator. Second, daylight sensor. Nether Quartz from Nether Quartz ore in the Nether. Nether Brick, also from the Nether. Trapped chest. Block of redstone, or redstone block. Hopper, work in progress. Weighted pressure plates, light, and weighted pressure plates, heavy. Let's have a look in the Nether first at the new crafting recipes and things. Oh, okay. Establishing shot. Okay, I got this little tiny station here. First, let's have a look in chest number 1. We have the crafting recipe for the Redstone Comparator. Redstone torches, Nether Quartz, stone, and that's what you get. Box number 2. The daylight sensor. This is the crafting recipe here. Glass, Nether Quartz, and wood slabs. Doesn't matter what kind of wood. Could be any wood. And then box number 3. The Nether Brick can now be crafted from Nether Brick. Nether Brick and Nether Brick. To do that, you need some coal, and you need netherrack. Put the netherrack in the furnace, and watch it cook. Oh, it's cooking. Ding, 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 ding. Nether brick. Ta-da! Alright. So that covers that stuff. The actual ore, the blocks to get the, what's it called? The Nether Quartz! Forgot for a second there. This is the Nether Quartz ore. It's pretty common. It's located on pretty much all of the surfaces. I haven't really went on a mining spree just to see if it's, you know, if you have to kind of dig for it, but for the most part you can actually see it, so it's accessible, which is good. And it looks like it's common enough to just get whatever you need and then hop back in the portal. Alright. So we're back on our little obstacle course here. Let's start with the comparator. Just to give a little outline of what it does. The comparator. I honestly don't know. Can't really see a use for it at the moment. But it's got this little doohickey here, thingamabob, jigamabee thing, and it makes power go in there. I really don't know what to do. This, out of everything, this is probably what kind of threw me for a loop. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, so it sends a signal, doesn't really send anything out the other sides, but okay. Moving on to the daylight sensor. Pretty straightforward. It's daylight now, so it powers the blocks up to 15, I believe, if you get the repeater from the beginning. But as the daylight progresses, it gets brighter. But then when it gets dark, let's see if I remember what to type in here. No! Set time. What's wrong with me? Jeez. What? Time set. Okay, there we go. Fail and a half. Alright. Bye, moon. Okay, so all the power decreases. Wait. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so next thing is, I'm sure most of you have seen this before, the redstone torch being powered by the block. When it goes over it, sends power to that torch, powering that, and through the block, powering that. Okay, so that works still. That's cool. Now, the actual redstone block itself will replace that torch. Does the same exact thing. Alright. Next thing I want to show you is this actual redstone torch, the difference between the two. So, the actual torch itself powers all of these lamps. So, even if it's not directly touching, right? Okay, so it sends power through that lamp to the others. Now, the redstone block doesn't do that. The signal doesn't carry on to the other blocks, so that's the main difference between the two, dealing with the lamps. But how to craft that is pretty straightforward. You just fill your crafting grid with redstone, and you get the redstone block. Pretty cool. So this is a little pulsar, which doesn't work anymore with the actual block itself. So I'm thinking this redstone block will definitely replace the bud system. I'm seeing it more and more as I was playing around with the Snapshot. I'm seeing it. It's basically Mojang's replacement for the bud system, because they did say that it will probably make the bud system obsolete, and from what I'm seeing here, it seems to be significant enough to replace that. One last thing for the redstone block. Let's put redstone over here, and it can be used as a clock, a high-speed clock, so fast that it won't even pull back the block that it pushes up until it pushes towards it again. Pretty crazy. Alright. Now we will look at the pressure plates. The gold ingot and the iron ingot. Weighted pressure plates. Light and heavy. So how these work is basically you throw blocks on them. The light pressure plates work in increments of 4. So as you put blocks on them, as the weight gets heavier, the pulse gets stronger. So it goes farther out to each repeater. Do, 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 do. You can put this into your games, possibly, you know, like a carnival hammer. Ding, ding, ding. That is the gist. The heavy one works in increments of 41. So it takes a lot of blocks to make the power go farther. But you get the idea. Now the way this would work, I guess, would be with minecarts. They would kind of sit on top, fall off the track, and fall on it. And depending on what's in the minecart, I guess you could put a hopper underneath, and as it collects everything, maybe as the pulse increases or decreases, it'll send the signal out to maybe put the cart back on. But I guess we'll see how this develops. And now on to the chests. The trapped chests. Now, compared to the regular chests, they are completely separate blocks. So now that allows you to stack them side by side without having any gaps like you had to before. So now, small chest, double chest, single chest, everywhere chest. The only difference between the two is this red outline around the buckle, or the latch. Or the only difference between both chests is the fact that this trap chest sends out 1 block worth of pulse or power in each direction. So that you can see here. See how all the lamps light up when it's opened? Like so. Single chest, same thing. Now, besides sending a pulse out from all sides, it also sends a pulse downwards by 1 block. As you can see by that lamp. Now I've extended the pulse of that power to go all the way to these lamps here from this repeater. And that's how you'll be able to extend the power. To craft, you'll have to make a regular chest and then combine that regular chest with a tripwire hook, and then you'll get the trap chest. Pretty straightforward. And last but certainly not least, the hopper. I cannot even express in words how excited I am for this piece. It's probably the most significant part of this whole update, and it is awesome. I'm already starting to figure out how it can be used. Some of these ideas I can show you and what I've gathered, but here we go. The hopper. It is awesome. So to begin, this is the crafting recipe for it. You'll just need regular stone and a chest, and you get the hopper, which doesn't have an icon yet, but it will soon. So how this thing works is it's got these slots that you can put items in. Pretty simple, right? Now let's see exactly how this works. So you put the item in, and it goes into the chest underneath it. Now, a very important thing to note that I didn't notice in any of the other videos that I've seen from other people kind of showing this whole snapshot off. This is very important, and I don't know if I'm the first to recognize it, but this actual spout is the game changer. That this spout is amazing because you can position it in any direction that you want. And to do this, you have to face it towards the block that you want. So that spout was facing that block and that block. So yeah, whichever direction you want it to face in or to pour out of, that's what you have to do. And if you want it to pour straight down, well, you just put it downwards. Pretty simple. So now, let's have a look at how that works. The actual hopper flows into other hoppers. So you can just have a funnel funneling in from each hopper from the top. And to illustrate that, we'll just put it on the upper hopper, and it'll pour into this one, and that one, since the spout is into this chest, it pours into that chest. It's not going into that one. And to make it go into that one, all we have to do is just hold down shift and put it on top. And let's try that again. Coal's on top, coal's flowing into the bottom one, and going into the bottom chest this time. Pretty cool. And this has so much potential because it can be used for automated farming, especially for chicken eggs, because those things just pop up at random times, and if they have something to actually fall into and collect, it just has less things floating around in your world, which is awesome. So after a while, the chicken will start to lay eggs, it'll fall into this water stream here and get pushed into the hopper, and it'll start to collect in the actual chest. So the chest is empty. Let's have a look here. Drop some eggs, and we'll have a look here. There you go. Beautiful. I'm so excited. It's awesome. One of the problems that I was having though is the actual hopper itself does have edges. So you can actually see that you fall into it, and it does have edges. So items could get trapped on those edges. See how you can actually fall into it? There we go. That's the center of it. So since it has an edge that items could potentially get trapped on as they're flowing, you'll have to use some sort of an alignment flow. So that way it'll avoid getting trapped on the edges of the actual hopper itself. There we go, all 16. So those are illustrating all the different uses for automated farming and how it pours in to the different chests. Now this is probably the most important and has the most potential out of all of them, is the fact that items can now be poured into minecarts and transported to your storage facility, your warehouse, any collection area. Now another thing to note is if there's a chest on top of the actual hopper, items will pour out of the chest, through the hopper, and into whatever it's connected to. So you can see here the bricks are flowing in. So let's take those out for now. For this one, the spout is facing towards the cart. We'll put the bricks in just to show. Bricks are not coming out of there anymore. And same thing will apply for this one. The spout is facing the cart. Same thing. Awesome. Alright, so that's all cleared out. Let's put something into it now and show how it can go to a collection area and be stored in the chest. So I just got a simple array here. Now it's on top of the hopper. The bricks are pouring into the hopper, and now they're going into the chest. Pretty sweet. So now to get that cart back onto the tracks, all you need to do is push it with a piston. Very simple, and away it goes, back to the loading area. To do this, you just need to power a rail so that when it gets pushed, it already has enough momentum to continue going. Because if it's just a regular rail, when it's pushed, then it just sits there. It doesn't have enough momentum to fall down and keep going. So the powered rail just gives it a boost, and away it goes. So that is pretty awesome. Let's take these here to move on. Moving forward. Alright, so let's try this. I got this cactus here and some coal. So let's put some coal in and a little bit of cactus. Oh. No, that didn't work. It would be good if you could kind of power these somehow and sort of determine what will pour in first, maybe. Maybe that's what the comparator block could be used for, to send a different signal, or depending on weight. But it really depends what's put in first. So cactus was second. That's... no, okay. Alright, hang on. Let's put cactus in first. Is this gonna work? Cactus is in first. Now the coal should start. There. Okay, so it cooks, but it's still pouring out. So will it even finish? No, it doesn't finish. So it does have the potential to cook. And when it's done cooking, whatever's cooked does go in. Because I did it before. It's just not consistent. So... but now you guys know that it does pour into a furnace, and you can even pour it back out. So let's see if something will go into the ender chest. Put some coal in. No, it's not going. So the ender chest you can't pour anything into yet. The dispenser, let's try it. Yep, it's pouring in. Perfect. So you can load up your dispenser with arrows, eggs, whatever you choose. That works. Pretty sweet. Now the same thing applies for the brewing stand. So you put your potions in first, your water bottles, let those funnel in, and then choose your ingredients, whichever. They got the spider eye there, do nether wart, but it actually brews it. As you can see the progress there, pretty awesome. Another idea I had was pouring water into a cauldron. And I don't know if this will actually work, but let's try. Water bucket. No, it doesn't pour in. I don't know. Thought it would be cool. Alright, and now the final thing that we should look at is, can these hoppers be pushed with pistons? So I'll put a sticky piston here, hopper there, and nope. Negative. So that is the hopper. The hopper is awesome. There's just no other way to describe it. It's amazing. It just has so much potential. I'm looking forward to the different things that people are actually going to use it for, all the different creations. But from what you see here, these are mine, what I was able to figure out, little ideas I had, and for the most part, they're pretty solid. I think I'm going to use this hopper in a lot of my designs. It will come in handy. But now that I've actually played around with it in the snapshot, and have guided you guys along the way, we all know what it can be used for. One final thing before we go here is the changes to some of the item handling stuff. So for example, actually let's use something that's not in there. Let's just do a stack of coal. Just for the sake of this. Alright, so there's some changes that were made to clicking and dragging items. So just to illustrate that, if you left click and drag a stack of items, as you keep going, notice the 0. When that is 0, the yellow 0 shows the stacks are all equal. If you double click, puts everything back into one stack. So that's if you left click. If you keep going, obviously it'll just keep on putting them all in equal stacks, as you can see there, and just double click to put them all back into one. Now with the right click, works a little different. The right click, if you're crafting something, you just hold it down and it just drags a single item on your crafting grid or whatever you have. Double click, everything's back together. The last thing for this clicking inventory stuff is holding down shift and double clicking whatever item you want. The coal goes into the chest for storage, and shift double click again from the chest goes into your inventory. Pretty sweet. So that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is Snapshot 13W01A. All the things that the Redstone update will have to offer. Maybe more things will be coming in further snapshots. I'm definitely looking forward to those, especially from what I've been able to play around with here. Really looking forward to this update. Before it was kind of iffy because of the whole bud system being obsolete and things that they mentioned. I was kind of on the fence, but now that I've actually been able to play around with this and see exactly what their plans are, I'm liking it. So, what do you guys think of this whole update, of this snapshot? Leave it in the comments. Tell me what you guys have discovered. If you found stuff that I didn't show you, or if there was something I missed, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know what you guys have found, any discoveries that you've made. Leave it in the comments below. That pretty much wraps it up for this whole showcase. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Keep those stashes trimmed.